Welcome to a new episode of Signal Chain Stories, the podcast for musicians, artists, and creatives. My name is Miles Kundra, and with me always is the wonderful Mordio. And before you ask yourselves, yes, we do have a new home. We're trying a new software to record the podcast, so if anything is a little bit wonky, that's on us. But if it's looking really good, let us know in the comments, because then we will continue with this software, because we tried it out a little bit and we do actually quite like it.
Yeah, it could be actually an improvement. I hope that.
Oh yeah, I mean, before
less
it was
anxiety for sure.
Oh yeah, before. I mean, we have to tell you, before it was like some episodes they were just lost because then an audio track was not recorded or anything else. Mordio had a wild OBS setting to record everything through Discord. It was pretty messed.
If I touched something, everything changed.
Everything was gone.
Yeah,
we hope we found a little bit more stable solution for us.
So we can focus on being natural human beings.
Yeah, and speak about things that we like to speak about and not so much think about technical problems in the back end.
God.
And today's topic is actually quite a big one. We wanted to speak about media consumption habits and how media consumption influences our creativity, but also our kind of like artistic view and artistic direction. So before this call, Mordio and I briefly talked about kind of like our artist way, and I think we are both currently at a stage where we are shifting in different directions, so to say, or at least different directions than we have been doing before. So for me, for example, is don't worry, it's nothing dramatically, but for me, for example, before it was with my live set, I kind of like had my Sub 25 and my other live gear, and I now decided that towards the end of the year I want to switch to a new live setup and put some thoughts into that to optimize that. And for you also said you're up to some quite significant changes, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just realized more like I'm really serious with like ambient music now and the techno side. I have these two parallels, and then I realized also that the music side is kind of open. What is ambient for me? Ambient is more like a term for all the music that is not dance music.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like there's a way more open range now for exploring a lot of things where I actually come from also, right? So like I really blocked myself in like I have to make techno for dancing and I cannot do all the other stuff. Now with ambient, I open up that I can make ambient, but now I realize ambient is everything else that I don't want to make like club music for, right? So I'm on a process where I feel like I need to connect to myself really well right now to define what kind of sound I want to create with this idea. Because I like this kind of ambient, I like la 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 la, and I actually came to the point that I switched a lot of environment consumptions that I have to inspire this mission kind of also. And this I think also what we want to talk about. Like I, for example, changed my music library that is only the stuff that I buy. So I have no streaming server. I have like a nice view that I can watch the covers and all this thing and get inspired by the music that I consume that is really picked because I paid for it. It's this little like extra effort that you have to do. So automatically you're getting like a playlist that is really selected. And I feel like
it's like back in the good old days where you went to a CD or to a record shop and bought a record and then kind of like listened to it very purposefully before streaming services.
Yeah, like if you like Nirvana, you buy Bleach and everyone says, no, Nevermind is the best, but you're like, no, I'm a Bleach fan.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like, it's this moments that we lose a little bit with streaming, for example, right? There's like digging what people always say that are into vinyls, but I like collecting data, you know, so it's like I just collect my files. I create files. It's like a thing we're working with. It's like a beautiful thing, like a file is something that I kind of also like people say the vinyl, you know, and I don't know, like listening my catalog in this way now, it's just inspiring me like a little bit because it's very selected. So I am like making playlists right now, completely fresh. And in that moment it hit me, right? So I was like, okay, wait, I'm having like ambient beat, ambient hyper or something. And then I have a really clear idea what the difference between these three things is. And in this moment, it clicks also for me as an artist that, wait, there's this three kind of types I like to do. But I never did a track in this way. And then I went in my head a little bit in this direction. So that was like one example, for example.
Okay, interesting. So it kind of like helps you to find your own path. I really like, by the way, that you said in the beginning that you're trying to connect a little bit more to your inner self, to really find out where you want to go and what you want to do. And that's exactly what I tried to do in the past as well, which is also why I figured out I need to change something, because right now I'm feeling a little bit like I've kind of like hit a wall, and if I just continue, there's no kind of like progression. So I want to kind of like push through that and make more progression.
There's a limiter that you wanna
exactly pop. Exactly that. And I also feel that in the moments where you are flooded with information, with algorithm served information that is just kind of like rotting your brain. Yeah, exactly.
What is you from all of this? There's no curation from you. It's just a curation from them.
100%.
This is what you have to like if you like Nirvana, you know? And everyone else who likes Nirvana listen to the same, and you connect kind of, but it feels some kind of weird. Because everyone listens to the same in the end.
Yeah.
And like what I realized from all the music that I bought for gigs, to be honest, like I lost all my music one day, and then I just said, okay, and I used Spotify. I'm not like someone who wants to like people make feel bad, right? I was consuming these platforms for years now, but I'm realizing that it don't gives me the depth of like finding like an album that I bought years ago, and now I have it like in my list there, you know, and I just true. This one you just have on Bandcamp. You cannot find it there. That's actually my favorite one from this one, or for example, you know.
Yeah.
And these moments happen again. Now I'm doing this since 3 days, right? Like having this new platform and putting all my catalog inside that I have for DJing on some cloud, and I never listened it on that files actually. The audio quality is better because you're not streaming it, obviously.
You have wave
and consistent, and you have all the metadata most of the time if you buy the music on Bandcamp. So it's all there, and it looks the same like any streaming platform, just without advertisement, because you see advertisement on Spotify even if you pay. It's just Spotify's advertisement, you know. So it's branded the same, so you think it's no advertisement, but it's full of it. I mean, check the home screen. It's crazy.
It's crazy, yeah. I was just today, I mean, it's, what is it? It's that we're recording that. It's the day when Blauan released his new album, and was really looking forward to that. And actually, my home screen again was flooded with music, and that was one of the records that wasn't shown to me. And I was like, why on earth is this record not in there? It's the one record that interests me today, and it wasn't in there. So it's stuff like that where, fortunate enough, you then start to use your own brain and say, well, this is actually the album I want to listen to. And this is what I really like about your approach, because I think it makes music also more valuable, because in the moment where you just have algorithm created playlists, it's just like music is becoming content, and you just don't value it that much anymore. And in the moment where you take a step back and say, well, actually, I'm in the driver's seat, I want to choose what I want to consume, in that moment something changes, because you have a different appreciation for the music that you decided to listen to.
Yes. And you know what? Just because to know that it's your catalog, it kind of gives you this personal feeling like, I selected this. This is the sound I listen to when you click on ambient. It's not because you don't have all ambient tracks on the planet to put it in. So you really just put the one in that you actually bought, you know, and that makes a huge filter. What is limitation in the beginning, you think? But then, like, for me, it was 3 days now, and I'm convinced that I stick to that, because, like, the first day, I just put my library inside. And I put Spotify to the side, so you cannot open it really easy, right? It's just like switched with the new icon on my phone everywhere, right? And I just realized how I like just don't miss it because I just opened that thing automatically when I want music, and then I realized, oh, it's a different app. Wait, I like this track, I like this track, I like this track, and then you make your little list for the shower. You go in the shower and you have your 4 tracks. That will be the shower, okay, or whatever, And I realized I'm doing this like play next playlists that are deleted after they're played. And then I have playlists. I can actually show it to you.
Yeah, sure.
Where is it here? So when I show you here, this is my catalog, and I can just watch it with the with all the beautiful covers and everything.
Yeah.
What
it's like
is
a
nice.
record collection, right?
Yeah, it's your record collection. You see it there. You can click inside, and you literally see the strange name of this artist. I love it. And Untitled Album is literally the name. I think I'm not sure, to be honest, but I bought it like this. Do this thing sometimes. And then you have like just from this album, I really love this track. It's one of my favorite tracks, and I just have it because I bought that one. I know this album have even more tracks, but now when I go and make a playlist, for example, here on my playlist, and I go here and playlist beat or something or hyper, then I have these tracks inside, but they are even heavier selected here because I just have 2 tracks of this album. So I put them here, and it will be this kind of playlist. But then I have also this like where you can put full albums. You can just drag and drop them here somewhere, right? And I can put a selection when I call it silence. It's all the ambient stuff in the albums here. So I can just click on silence and then just let that play in shuffle mode, for example.
Nice.
And no cluster. You can just make collections in playlist. Did you saw any advertisement, anything? No, it's just
your songs,
my artists, or my albums. And the rest is customized if you want to. But you can just shuffle that if you want.
Nice.
And I don't know. I just like to know that all of this I bought and it's in my pocket, I can have it. And then they have this app. It's, by the way, this application that I'm talking here about is called Doppler. It's for Mac. I don't know. You can find a music player, whatever you want. I mean, this is just cool because you can put it in your app also. Like you have the app for that and you synchronize them. Like when you go on a travel, for example, and then you have the tracks on your phone. In my case, I do the like silence playlist, for example, in like the collection on my phone. So I have that. But all the music collection with all the subgenre, maybe I don't have on my phone then, just to have music with you. And then the collection on your computer, if you DJ and you have like stuff that you sometimes just don't want to hear.
Yeah.
Right.
That's really
I don't
nice.
know. That gives me that moment where I realize I do this now just for this nerdy part, right? But then I realized how this inspired me actually making this playlist, how I realized what I'm actually looking for right now. Because here I already know it, but as an artist, I don't know. But then I know now I can go on my ambient hyper playlist, for example, and know this kind of particular sound. What all of these tracks make them for me like glue together as like one genre. And that is super subjective most of the time, right? When people say electro and you're like, oh yeah, that. And people say, no, that's breaks. So it's just terms that you want to develop in your brain to understand what kind of sound you want to do. But you will have a clear idea of what that sound of. And then you can analyze it in this kind of playlist, for example. And I don't know, have an interactive session where you just listen to music and get full inspired for what you want to do next.
Because you choose the music you want to listen to.
Absolutely. You selected it, but not on one day. You selected it over a long time, and then you listen to this and you see the pattern, So it's just more like a tool for seeing the pattern. And we working with audio, and we want to make music in the end, for example, then it's good to have a really good music consumption environment.
Absolutely. And I would extend that to not only music in general. I would say media consumption or in general consumption habits, because like the question, and that brings us back to the beginning question, is that every artist should probably ask themselves, is my current media consumption damaging my artist perspective or is it enhancing it? And that's, I think your example is perfect because you realized something's wrong because I get algorithm served music that kind of like overfloods me, that overwhelms me. And I want to get back to where I'm kind of like choosing what I want to use. And that is exactly the state where I'm currently at. I have that more with social media, I have to say. Like, I mean, Instagram, TikTok, we talked about this, but even YouTube, it's like, I don't want to spend too much time on the YouTube start page because it's just so tempting. And sometimes you can get, you know the deal, you can get very lost in that. And I realized that when I get to YouTube, before I do kind of like a YouTube session, I choose for myself what I want to watch. So that can be relaxation videos. I really love to watch Let's Plays for relaxation. I just love that. I love to watch people play video games. It's just for my brain, it's just like, it can just like calm down and it's
Everyone
easy.
have some weird one of that one for
exactly.
sure. I like Let's Plays too sometimes, to be honest.
Oh, that's great to hear that I'm not alone. Perfect.
No, you're not alone.
Yeah, but then it's also sometimes where I say, okay, now I go to YouTube because I want to learn something. And in that particular case, I want to learn about playing as a live act and as kind of like how I can improve my live set. And then I choose, okay, what needs improvement? That's something I define beforehand. So right now it's something I'm looking into. I want to have more control over what I do. So I'm right now looking for a good MIDI controller. I want something with faders. I want something good. And then I realized there's some really cool new controllers out now, right now.
Yeah, there's some
Drop
cool
by Noidside Instruments is something I've been really looking into. It looks super cool. Some good other stuff. And then I intentionally go and check videos that are in that direction and really not trying to get off the path. And after one video lands somewhere about a video where how AI is, I don't know, shaping our future and how we will be all losing our jobs due to robots and stuff like that. That rabbit hole, you can get into that very fast, you know that?
Totally.
I think everyone
YouTube,
knows that. Yeah. And that's really something where I try to train myself. And that's bloody hard because the algorithm obviously wants to push you in the direction, say, look here, we have something fancy, try that, give you a short form dopamine hit.
It's built for that. It's like smoking sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Forget it, you smoke or you don't make half things.
Exactly. And that's like, hard. Man. And yeah, that's exactly the same state. And that's why I love your example as well, because with music, it is the same. In the end, it's a medium, and I feel that it's should be there to inspire us. And oftentimes I'm also overwhelmed with everything Spotify shows me. So yeah.
I mean, I was just looking for an alternative because of the company behind, right? I'm kind of done with it. And
yeah, same.
I was like, okay, but then first of all, I have to start here, So I also have to not consume it. And then let's see what I do with the Mordio project in the end. But really important for me was right now that I just switched that for that reason. But it showed me that beautiful way, that the way we consume things are like a huge impact. We talked in one of the last episodes where I said make notes about things that come up randomly in your head, just to put them later together in one thing and have kind of a concept already before you start making the music or something to get inspired.
Yeah.
When you feel like you have a blank page and you don't know what to do, right? And this time I feel like it inspired even my vision of what ambient can be, just because I make subgenres of ambient, and I realized, I actually want to make them even more split up, but then give me a new range of what I could actually do with my ambient project or what I want to do there, because it was completely open yet.
Yeah.
And now I think
that's cool.
It's a clue now. I see the pattern. Because it's the music that I buy.
Yeah, and that's exactly, I think, how you then also find your own style, because you have already narrowed it down to the things that you listen to, and then the more you get into that, you can see where in that spectrum, so to say, you can place your music and what is your unique style with the ambient. I really like that approach.
I love that you said narrow it down. It's like another layer of filtering, that you constantly do. I love that.
Yeah, it is in the end also. That's how I like to more and more think about making music. It's in the end, the process of narrowing down. So you start with a lot of ideas, but in the end, you really need to boil it down to something that has a very distilled, how do you say that? A very distilled result. Yeah,
Results.
Exactly. Yeah, a result.
To make it unique, to make it to yours. And I feel like we all know that from, for example, plugins. When you realize what VSTs are, you're just overwhelmed. Then you have Max devices in Ableton and you're even more overwhelmed, right? And then there's millions of sites. And what I learned over the years was actually, if I feel like I really miss a particular function in Ableton, then I look at Max. And if I don't find it there, then I look for VSTs, right? And that's why I have a really, really nice, clean setup where there's not too much cluster. And that gives me freedom for my brain because I'm ADHD overdose, right? So I need that somehow. And the fun fact was now with the music, I felt the same. It's like deleting Instagram. I didn't miss all the cluster. And I just got the good stuff because like in Instagram, for example, when I really miss out on something, some of my friends make a screenshot and send it me on Signal.
As easy as
like the
that.
really important stuff, I still get the Instagram feed.
Yeah.
And with the music now the same. Like I scroll through just gold because I bought it. And I believe in my taste. And that's the only thing we should do as an artist.
Yeah.
That makes you unique because everything else, everyone can learn.
Do you think that just came to my mind like a little bit of a meta question. Do you think that could be like a trend for the future, that we have reached the saturation of algorithms? And
I hope so.
I really hope so too. But I have the big question is, are other people feeling that too? Because I feel that for me, myself, there's a little backlash happening right now. I need to step out of that. I say, okay, the last few years have been a little bit too much consumption, a little less and less being kind of like in the driver's seat of what I want to consume. And now I want to take a step back. And I'm asking if that's maybe something that more and more people realize.
In my environment, if you ask me personally, I ask you also after the same question, but in my environment here in Berlin, there's a lot of people talking about these topics. I got like a conversation on a birthday with someone I didn't know so long, maybe just from the night, I don't remember. And we talk about phone addiction and stuff. And this person told me literally I went to like a circle where they actually talked about this because you don't talk about the social media problems really loud a lot of times. And it helped him a lot. He felt so much better. And like he literally did like a class on losing it. Like when you go to the drinker circle, it was the same, he said. It was the absolutely same.
It's an addiction.
And it is an addiction. It's trained for it. It's like manipulation of your brain because they see the patterns with AI analyzed. The AI is not, we can use it now, but AI we have since years. It's just like code based from the beginning. Now someone make it like accessible, and they're doing this with data sets for years. So like they build things for making you addicted. And when you know this fact, like maybe I feel like with us, it's also like we are in this bubble where we work also with social media somehow. That's why we can maybe separate better from it also. Because we know how the stuff in the back end also works. And this is really toxic sometimes. Like when I see how like some channels also use manipulation and like it's crazy. There's so much marketing also around all this. Yeah, it's you can have a lot of rabbit holes, So I feel like we should keep care on that case for sure. And I hope more people wake up in this case because I love the internet. I work with it. I love that I built that. All of this is just like the way we consuming it right now in the mass. What I'm seeing. It's very unhealthy, I think. And people waking up slowly and getting that. Like people sometimes don't even know what is the problem. They just want less. Because there's this saturation you said, right?
Yeah.
So I have conversations here in Berlin around this and I see a lot of like content like how to use a dumb phone and I have friends that literally looking for this stuff and I'm like, maybe you should just de-learn that you install this stuff and don't get a like €200 phone that can do nothing.
Yeah. Just good old Nokia 3310.
Yeah, I mean, if that helps you to make the step,
sure. Yeah.
Invest in it, if you think so.
Definitely. Yeah.
But yeah, this is what I would say. In my environment and what I'm consuming, I see the pattern happening more often. So I see, it's actually happening more and more. I feel also more comfortable talking about it. When I talk in the past about these things, people was like, you just live on the moon, dude.
Yeah, you feel a little bit less like an alien when you question these things. Because, I mean, yes, social media is still very present in our society. But I feel more and more people right now are questioning, especially since it is getting even more flooded by AI. And I don't mean that by AI in general, but really these AI slobs that are just being used to just flood the platforms with bullshit, brain rot.
Yeah, and AI-generated content also, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's, I mean, I've been listening to podcasts like different ones basically about AI, and it's all expected to become even more in the next years. And that kind of like brings me to the question, does that make platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and even YouTube even consumable anymore? Or is it like, where are we moving with this? Like more and more people becoming aware, but at the same time, are platforms flooding their own platforms sometimes with AI-generated slop? And I'm just asking myself, will this at some point just collapse and people say, fuck this, I'm done. I leave that and I do something else, and more people following that trend. And what will then be after that? The next internet? Big questions, I know, but it's
write
like
them in the comments.
All answers in the comments. We want to see all answers in the comments to that.
Give us the answers. We are so lost.
We are.
I think it's developing for sure also a minus pole to all of that, right? There's always like an anti-pole that be generated by the extremes of one side. So there will definitely be an alternative to all of that. I mean, with this talk right now, I would say we're already making an alternative also. Like, I fight for this for sure. Like in the internet, I always try to tell people, use this tool. It's amazing, but don't lose yourself to this shit. That's the real world. Touch it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a lot in front of the computer, but I always try to be in a social way and do something with it, not just consuming it.
Yeah,
because
100%.
Technology helps us as a tool, but it should not be our life.
Yeah, and give yourselves alternatives. Like, for example, being influenced by the internet is nice, but actually being influenced by the real world is great. So just yesterday, for example, I went here in Cologne to the Kolbhalle, which is an amazing artist community, and I helped them a little bit with a demonstration for art happening here in Cologne tomorrow. And that was just so inspiring, like super cool, amazing people, from painters over design artists, over musicians, like really nice community of very creative people. And just being there, kind of like being in that room. The Kolbhalle is an amazing space and full of art, and just being there and being present, listening to the people, having real conversations, listening to their struggles, listening but also to their joys. That was just amazing. That was just something I think also the internet cannot really give you. So sometimes, and I like to be a lot in the internet as well. I'm kind of like same kid of the 90s, grew up with it, use it a lot for gaming, music, community, whatever. And that is all great, but sometimes going out and then talking to real people in real communities is just so refreshing.
Yeah, when I realized this, I start also like with the Discord channel. I feel like we are way more connected because it's no feed. It's more like just live chat with everyone, right? And more people were from Berlin, living in Berlin. So we started to make like a meetup also and meet in real life, and it makes such a big difference. Of course.
Yeah.
It sounds so stupid, but it's a little reminder. It's actually, I was not believing it till it happened.
Yeah. No, 100%. I also made, it's already a couple of months back, but I also made my first Melodic Minds community meetup for my Discord community here in Cologne. And although I think we were just 5 people, but it was amazing to have some faces to talk about all the different stuff, like the cultural music scene here in Cologne, but also synthesizers, obviously, music gear, how we produce, how we make music, how we kind of like bring music into our lives and try to
community, like-minded people around
exactly.
you.
Sometimes talk about gaming, photography,
also humans.
all the good stuff. Yeah, all the good stuff. It was really fun, and it was just a good evening sitting at a bar, having a beer or Fanta or limo, whatever, and just relaxing, vibing. It was great.
We got one meetup where we went to a bar and then all of us ordered Apfelschorle.
I was in that one. That was the one when we were at Superbooth. The one in Berlin, yeah.
Where I came after because I met Oscar and I danced to Search.
Exactly, and I met with Christoph before, and that was fun. That was really fun.
That was also then everyone like Apfelschorle. Yeah. That was so funny. I remember. Really fun. Yeah, Superbooth were good. Yeah. You have to come back to Berlin.
I will.
Maybe I come to Cologne and we make a nice...
Dude, you're always welcome.
Let's do that soon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe we should make a little summary. I feel like we need a little summary right now. So...
You want to start?
No, go for it. Feel free.
Okay. So I think like when we speak about artistic growth and kind of like you feel as an artist you're a little bit stuck, one of the first things that you should do is check your consumption habits. Like, what am I consuming? How am I treating my own creativity? What am I feeding to myself? Is it something that I choose for myself? Is it something that I just go to Instagram and scroll it all day? And is that maybe one of the root causes why I'm kind of like not really hearing my inner voice anymore, because it's just overflooded with too much information?
Well said.
I think, yeah, I think that's the main point for me. Is like sometimes when you feel not really you know where to go, it is worth stepping back, disconnect yourself a little bit, and try to listen to what's here. Do meditation, do walks in the nature, do whatever works for you. Listening to music, but music that you picked yourself. And I have a run right now. But no, that's I feel like that's my main takeaway. Basically, getting from algorithm served to self-controlled consumption.
Yeah, I would say that's the thing. Like, you know, when you customize your computer or your like Ableton because you want to make it to the place you like to work in, do that with all of the things you consume and ask yourself, is this consumption necessary? Could this actually harm my creativity and my connection to my artist compass? And then you will very fast realizing what you cut, what you select yourself, and what you really like filter down to the pattern that you can see the pattern before you're even realizing it. And then you can just, from that pattern, seeing the path that you want to go. What happened kind of with my ambient thing, for example. I saw the pattern because I make my music library new. It sounds so stupid, but it's literally, in the end, actually a good point to realize how you can get inspired so fast.
Yeah, it is. It is. And as you say that with a pattern, I think people need to realize that it's a process. So it's not happening overnight. It's something that takes
3 days.
Months or 3, in your case, 3 days. But yeah, sometimes it can also take longer. And I think that's completely fine. Just embrace yourself in the process, give yourselves time, and some breathing room. Just chill.
Just chill. Make less noise for your head and just get inspired by the things that you really pick, and you will have an amazing output for sure. If you just start doing it. Amen.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe this beautiful channel. I hope this video looks great for you. For us, it looks right now kind of nice. I hope it sounds well for you if you're on some platforms.
Yeah.
That are not supporting video. And what else? What else, my friend?
I think that was the perfect closing words.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Then we see us in 2 weeks.
See us in 2 weeks. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Stop.